Hey man, it's me, Kevin Smith. Welcome to the Grow Tent, everybody. You have found the best growing channel on YouTube, man. The place where we simplify the approach for you so everyone can learn how to grow. We make it so simple, even I can understand. So I'm going to listen and learn right now.
Woo! What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Grow Tent. We got a great episode for you today. So today we're going to be talking about the 2025 hemp ban and what it means for you and genetics and all that in between. We're going to talk about the previous 2018 Farm Bill and what happened with it, and then we're going to be talking about the new rules that are coming in place. And you basically have like 11 months before the new rules take effect. They take effect, I believe it's November 13th of 2026. So that's what we're going to talk about today. But first, the intro. Guys, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of fun stuff. We're going to do a short intro today. We got a lot to talk about today. I could not express how good of a time it would be to head over to WTTGT. That's our website, and maybe check out the store over there. We've got Black Friday sale going on live right now. There's 3 brand new t-shirts in there, and a lot of stickers and stuff like that. I can't express how good of a time it would be, especially with the current climate that's coming, to maybe go check out and buy a t-shirt like that. You won't get this one. I only got my t-shirts once. Then I don't ever make them again. So you won't get this design, but there's 3 new designs up. They'll be up all this week. All right, so my email is usually filled with growing questions. My email is usually lots and lots and lots of growing questions because I'm a big dumb idiot who puts his email up online on YouTube videos for everybody to see. So I get a lot of emails. And generally, my email is filled with growing questions, pictures of plants, and what am I doing wrong, and this stuff of this sort of nature. For the last 2 weeks, that is not what my email has been filled with. My email has been filled with questions and concerns over the new 2025 hemp bill that passed, or the hemp ban as it's being called. And before we really get to that and what it's done, I think we should go back and refresh and look at what the 2018 Farm Bill did. Let me scoot over so I can put my pop-ups up here. So in 2018, the Farm Bill passed. It was the federal legalization of hemp. The Agricultural Improvement Act of 2018 removed hemp and its seeds from the Controlled Substance Act, the CSA, and established a federal framework for producing under the U.S. Department of Agriculture. What it basically said in that law was it had a 0.3% THC threshold. As we all know, cannabis seeds or clones or veg plants, they don't have any THC in them yet. The THC comes later whenever it gets into flower. And this is how they defined a plant as hemp. So anything that was under 0.3% THC. Any part of the plant included the seeds, the derivative, the extracts, a maximum of 0.3% delta-9 THC concentration by weight. Well, as we know, genetics seeds, they have 0% whenever they're in seed form because they don't have any THC in them. That comes later on whenever you're in the flower. Which caused the DEA to come out and say, based on the DEA came out with a clarification in 2022, and it said, based on the definition, the Drug Enforcement Agency, the DEA, acknowledged in January 2022 guidance letter that cannabis seeds are not controlled substances as long as their own delta-9 THC concentration remains below 0.3%. And as we just talked about, seeds have no cannabis in them. Or they have no THC in them because they're seeds. As long as the seeds remain below the 0.3 threshold, regardless, this is the part that changed. So this part coming up right here, this is the part in the new law that changed. It said regardless of the potential of the seeds that the plant could produce if it was grown. So the old law was talking about no matter what it would grow into, if in its current state it did not possess 0.3 THC or higher, then it was fine no matter what it could grow into. This created a genetics loophole that allowed interstate commerce of cannabis seeds for several years. The DEA even came out and said, hey, seeds have less than 0.3 THC because they don't have any in them. So no matter what they might grow into, they're fine right now, which means they are legal. That's what they actually came out with that definition. They actually put out that paper. I think it was in January of 2022. It literally said it right there on that old slip. But in summary, while the 2018 Farm Bill initially opened pathways for legal seed commerce based on the seed's own low THC content, the new law in 2025 is now going to recriminalize seeds. So the way they had changed it is the new federal law signed in November 2025 significantly impacts hemp regulations and what they state. The ban most intoxicating hemp products, redefined legal status of cannabis seeds also. Impact on the seeds. The new legislation makes viable seeds federally illegal if the parent plant, so no longer does it matter what the seeds contain. Because before it was like, hey, the seeds are 0.3%, less than 0.3% THC because they don't have any. But now it takes that weight off of the cannabis seeds and puts it on the parent. So what will the plant turn, or what will the seed turn into? And if the seed will turn into a plant in the future that would grow into a plant that would turn into more than 0.3% THC, which, I mean, let's be real, almost 97% of them will. The seeds are now illegal, and they are technically will be looked, well, not yet, not till next November, will be looked at as a Schedule 1 marijuana is the way they will classify seeds starting not this November, but literally 11 months from now. That's what those will be. That's what they will be considered as a Schedule 1 drug, the same as H-Ron and all that other terribly bad stuff. There is a grace period, like we're just now discussing. There is a grace period. So right now, even though they signed the law into effect, there is a 1-year grace period to let the industry catch up with the new rules that are coming into place. So they had 365 days from the bill was signed. It was signed on November 13th before these laws will take effect. Basically what that means is you have about 11, unless something changes, like, which might be tough because they've already signed this into law. This is something that has passed the House, has passed the Senate, and has now also been signed off on by the President. So unless some court comes in and strikes this part of the law out, maybe because of the way it's worded or written, or unless they pass another bill that strips this part out of the Emergency Funding Act. That was another shady part about this. They just kind of snuck this in on the back of the reopening the government thing, which sucked. But we're not going to talk about politics. We're just here to talk about the facts of what this is. What this basically is saying is, unless something changes, you have about 11 and a half months, 11 months and 2 weeks to get the genetics, any genetics that you'd want. Because after that, ordering them will be a federally illegal crime. Not now, right now, 100% legal. But in the future, in a year from now, and it might even start happening sooner than that, because what'll happen is you'll have like credit card companies and stuff like that start to deny these kinds of charges and stuff like that. So I don't like to be the doom and gloom guy. I'm usually very upbeat, but this is a huge deal for our industry and for people being able to get the genetics and the kinds of medicine that they would want or need for their daily lives. So if there's one thing you take away from this, I would just say, if you have a favorite or if you've had stuff you've wanted to try, sooner rather than later would be the time to start stocking up. And if you'd like, I've got a great video on how to make your own cannabis seeds. It's literally 8 parts long. You can go back and find it. I think we did it in I'm going to say it was like around the springtime of 2023. There's 8 parts to that video, and I go through every single week of flour to show you exactly what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, on how to make your own. So it might not be a bad video series to catch up on. Alright guys, I hope I didn't scare you all too much, but this is a big deal for our industry. And I know it's a big deal, and a lot of people are talking about it whenever my email goes from growing questions to questions about this. And it had gotten to the point where it was so many, I was like, all right, well, originally I wasn't going to make a video on it, but it had got to the point where it was so many that I was like, okay, I guess I kind of need to address it. But yeah, you've got about 11 months left. And then these will stop being legal, which they are 100% legal right now. They were 100% legal for the last X amount of years, and next November they will not be. All right, so I hope everybody has a fantastic week after talking about this. And I hope you guys all have a great Christmas season coming up. Remember to head over to WTTGT. It's a great week to maybe join up or take a look in store. All right, I'll see you guys later. Have a fantastic week. Hope you have a great holiday season coming up. And if you have any questions or anything, remember you can always email me. I put my email up at the beginning of the video. You can check it out. All right, I'll see you guys later. I'm GT. I'm out of here. Bang.